The assigned reading for this week is Document 8-1. Richard Allen founds the first African Methodist Church. Richard Allen is an American hero, a pioneer and leader to future generations. He was the first African American leader to lead a nonviolence. Richard Allen was born on February 14 of 1760, enslaved to Benjamin Chew of Philadelphia. When he was 7 years old, he was separated from his family and sold to Stokey Sturgis of Delaware. He described his new master as unconverted man. However, he was a good master. He regarded him more like a father of his slaves. He was very tender, kind-hearted, and very compassionate. I personally think that he had an admirable relationship with his master. At the age of 20, he joined the Methodist Church Society, where he attends meetings and meets Methodist ministers in the forests of the Delaware state. And that was indeed the foundational moment of his life when he started having a relationship with God and started preaching the gospel. The knowledge of the scripture helped him understand who he was as a man, and God certainly didn't make him to be bound. Sturgis, his masters, allows him and his brother to enjoy the pleasure of worshiping God and attending meetings. Their neighbors noticed the favorable treatment of Sturgis to his slaves, and they immediately disapproved that by talking negatively about them. His master firmly believed that religion made slaves better. They are more honest and more industrious. Eventually, he realized that holding a slave is totally wrong. He then proposed and purchased Allen and his brother's freedom by agreeing to pay 60 pounds of gold and silver, or $2,000. Richard Allen expressed his sadness when he left his master's house because he treated Sturgis like his own father. As a freedman, Richard Allen worked multiple jobs and drove a wagon, traveling throughout the region. He also preached the gospel on his stops. He later settled in Philadelphia, where he attends meetings and preaches very frequently. There, where he experienced occasions of prejudice and racism inside the church directed against people with color. And that was the beginning of civil rights movements in American society. Their distressed situation led them to erect their house of worship where people can worship comfortably. But the challenges never end. They receive a lot of threats from white people and wants to cancel what they are building. He stated, "But we believe the Lord would be our friend." Richard Allen never gave up and trusted the Lord. There, the beginning and rise of the first African church in the United States of America, founded in 1769, that is St. George, the oldest Methodist church in America. He uses his preach to further the cause of equality. He expressed his sorrow with his fellow white believer that they are more consumed with religious laws. They are becoming cruel and oppressive dictator rather than have a direct relationship with God and following the gospel of Christ. For me, this documentation is very fascinating. The devotion of Richard Allen to God was very encouraging. He trusted God in every step of his way, that God will deliver him, not forsake him. Sadly, though, that the gospel of Jesus Christ was used to control, to gain domination, which is opposed to the teachings of the gospel. And do you guys think that discrimination in the church is still in this present day? Response and comment below, and let's get this conversation flowing. Thank you.